Throw away, because I'm a big baby. She sat next to me in one of my first year's classes. She had white blonde hair and pale skin, and her cheeks and nose were peppered with freckles. I was not popular, but had friends, had a lot of confidence, and was sort of a tough person. She was quiet. She was like a scared animal. I liked her, and I made that pretty clear. I never liked to play games. She reciprocated, shy, but not scared about it or anything. She had very few friends, at least I didn't see any. She must have always left school property for lunch because I often had trouble finding her after class. She'd hang out with me at lunch if I asked her to, before she left class. But otherwise, she was impossible to track down. I introduced her to my friends. It's a pretty large school and they were all a grade older than me. But she was really anxious about hanging out with other people, so we mostly hung out one-on-one together when we did. She didn't have a phone, and if I asked her out after school, she'd never bring me to her house, always to mine. Even though my house was across town, she would walk home. We never officially started dating. I liked her a lot, but I wasn't serious with getting involved with a woman. But I really did like her, and I tried to make her feel happy when I could. I mean, she never seemed sad or anything, but I loved making her laugh and keeping her company. Here's where it gets a little weird. She suddenly wasn't at school the next year. I was upset, especially because I never got to say goodbye. She never mentioned anything about moving, but she was gone. I shrugged this off. I was upset, but shit happens. People move all the time. In my final year, I realized something wasn't adding up one day when I brought her up in casual conversation. My friends don't remember her. They weren't in that class, but they knew I was hanging out with a girl, and I did introduce her to them, and she hung out with them a couple times before stopping. Sure, it's been some time, they graduated already by that point, but it really bothers me that they could forget her, considering I'd established a semi-relationship with her for a full school year. And she had, at least, I thought, a pretty striking appearance. Her hair and skin were so pale, it's hard to forget her. I didn't purchase any of the yearbooks, but I asked to borrow my friends from that year. Her name was in it, but there was no picture. She was listed on the side where they put the names of the people not pictured. I couldn't track her down online anywhere, despite her very unique last name. It's like she never used the internet or was very careful about it. Fast forward to this year, I didn't think much about her since I graduated. I was talking with a friend about past relationships and talked about her for a bit. When I came home, I searched for her on the internet again to see if anything had changed. Maybe she had got Facebook by now, got with the times. Instead, I found a missing persons report. She indeed must have moved then, because the report was from across the country. The report was pretty fresh. She went missing last year. She was last seen alone. They included a picture: white blonde hair and pale skin, cheeks and nose peppered with freckles.